address to avoid, fall. Because if that was not the case, I want to honestly believe that NASA would still be intact. According to me, the split in NASA was basically because, when everything came in the names of, the majority, the political party that had the lion's share, then there's a sense in which the rest felt that they were ignored. Yeah, so I think that's one thing that law really needs to address.
And I'm sure that has been addressed in the legislation proposed by Amos Kimonya. But I'm sitting here wondering, Professor, as a presidential candidate, because there's those who aver that it will be very difficult to win an election in this country, and I think that has been seen from the year 2013, that it will be very impossible unless you form yourself under a coalition. It is impossible to win a presidential election.
Well, those are just assumptions. What's very important is, can you reach out, talk to the electorate, and can the electorate feel you? Can they trust in what you are telling them? But if you are going to steal to give without disclosing the source of your finances, like it has been, then definitely that's the route to follow. And as my learned colleague has said here, the issue of party funding should not only just be coalesced on whichever party gets the bigger share, then it can share with the smaller parties. Kenya is the only country in the whole world which has a discriminatory policy on funding of political parties. They expect us to come up with returns, yearly returns, to tell the registrar of political parties and the controller of the budget, that the controller, the auditor general, on how we have used the funds in the party, and to tell them where we got the funds. Whereas the bigger parties are funded, us, like myself, have had to go to my own pocket. And trust me, I've spent almost 46 million on my party from the time it was incepted in 2010 when we formed our party. So it has just been draining me. And then somebody wants me to go and account for the money he has not given me. That kind of lunacy is what has been created by the political parties themselves, Jubilee and ODM, members of parliament, sitting in parliament to craft laws favorable to them. God bless them.
That's about lunacy. God blessing them. Those are live pictures from KASARANI International Stadium, the venue of the Azimio La Umoja convention, the climax, rather. The former Prime Minister has made rounds around the country, has been to Mount Kenya, has been to lower eastern, upper eastern, western part of Kenya. And I think the last rallies were around areas of Mount Elgon, as well as Trans Nzoia, which is also on those ends, and the culmination is today. In studio, I have Professor Wajakoya and Wakili Ken Amondi to analyze and dissect this announcement being made here. We'll go to KASARANI just a bit, but of course when we come back, of course we have to address the question of the running mate for Raila Odinga. Now that, Musalia Mudavadi is out of the picture, presumably, Kalonzo Musyoka too, Moses Wetangula, who will be the running mate? There has been a proposal that as you ascend the mountain, Peter Kennedy is probably the most viable running mate. There's those who propose Peter Munya. There are others who propose Martha Wangari Karua. We'll be, dissecting all those options right here. It's a full table. But for now, we head over to KASARANI and listen in a bit.
Shikilia kidogo Wakwito. Mbaito Mwaseo inge. Naomba hivi maafisa wa usalama, ile entrance ya wasanii ifungwe. Tuelekee juu, tuko na nafasi ya kutosha pale juu. Tafadhalini sana, ninawaomba. Hiyo gate ifungwe ili watu waweze kwenda juu. Iko nafasi ya kutosha, iko soda ya kutosha, iko wifi ya kutosha, na ukiketi pale juu unaondolewa kwa fuliza mara moja. Tuendelee. DJ.
And to the 8 former provinces of the country. And today, more than 60,000 Kenyans are expected at the Moi Sports Center, Kasarani. The pictures on your screens at the moment of the stadium where that event will be happening. And on the dignitaries, will be giving you an update in regards to who will be attending. So far, the former Nigerian president, Olusegun Obasanjo, has confirmed his presence. A diplomat who is currently mediating the political crisis in Ethiopia between the Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed's government and the former ruling party of the Tigray region, TPLF, in Africa's second most populous nation. And governors who yesterday accompanied the former Prime Minister, including Wycliffe Oparanya of Kakamega, Alex Tolgos of the county of Elgeyo Marakwet, and James Ongwae of Kisii have all said that all is set for the event, which is at the moment underway. We have our political reporters Philip Murutu and Angela Cheror standing by at the venue. Also on the broadcast will be featuring the counties, and will be giving you a live coverage from the counties of Kisumu. Baraka Karama is standing by. In Nakuru, Kigodho Mwangi will be giving us an update on the importance of the day for the people of Nakuru and where it was first conceptualized. And then in the county of Mombasa, Boniface Mwangi will be live from County 001. And also here in Nairobi County, Martin Opiyo will be accompanying the entourage of the former Prime Minister Raila Odinga on Thika Road, that is, as it snakes into the Moi Sports Center, Kasarani. All what it portends for the 2022 outcome, one that has its roots on the Kenyatta succession in the elections in August 2022, and also the importance of this as a placebo on what the former Prime Minister Raila Odinga says will be the point to cure Kenya's political problems. And of utmost importance is the history as to the outcome and what Kenyans expect, the anxiety and the building up of the political climate in the country, and what this generally means for the political arithmetics ahead of the 2022 presidential contest. And if Raila Odinga then declares his stab at the presidency in August 2022, it will be the 5th time he is making an attempt to be the next occupant of State House here in the county of Nairobi. He first tried in 1997, but Daniel Toroitich Arap Moi ended up winning a re-election after he first won the elections in 1992 post the multi-party struggle. And in 2007, though disputed, Odinga said that the outcome of the polls then, which was managed by the Electoral Commission of Kenya, then chaired by the late Samuel Kiviutu, was not free, fair and credible process. In 2013 and 17, he filed petitions at the Supreme Court. In 2013, William Mutunga, the first Chief Justice of the Republic of Kenya, post the 2010 Constitution, upheld the victory of President Uhuru Kenyatta of the elections held on the 4th of March 2013. And in 2017, Odinga disputed the 8th of August 2017 polls, and the Supreme Court, then chaired by the second Chief Justice David Kenani Maraga, disqualified President Uhuru Kenyatta's re-election and said that the IEBC did not follow the electoral laws. Therefore, the process was declared null, illegal and void, calling for a repeat poll which was held on the 26th of October 2017, though boycotted by the opposition National Super Alliance that was then made up by the ODM party, Wiper party of the former Vice President Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka, the ANC party of Musalia Mudavadi, Ford Kenya party of Moses Wetangula, and the Chama Mashinani CCM of Isaac Ruto, which was domiciled in the county of Bomet and championed for devolution, more money to the counties. And then the fifth time, if Odinga declares so today, what will be keeping an eye of the proceedings which are underway at the moment at the Moi Sports Center Kasarani will mean then that he will be making another attempt for the fifth time to take over from President Uhuru Kenyatta in 2022. We have all our reporters stationed to give you the coverage and the important day in the political calendar of the ODM party chief Raila Odinga, from the time the handshake happened in March 2018 to the task force of the Building Bridges initiative, which was chaired by the late Garissa County Senator Yusuf Haji, the handing over of the first report in 2019, the Bomas Convention the same year, and in 2020, the second BBI report, which was modified, then handed over to President Uhuru Kenyatta and the ODM party chief Raila Odinga a day after the Mashujaa Day celebrations in the county of Kisii at the Gusii Stadium, where the report was handed over to the two principals at the Gusii State Lodge and the subsequent convention of the second Bomas of Kenya Convention. We'll be giving you an analysis of what this portends and, of course, the details in the Odinga plan to give each family 6,000 Kenya shillings, the social welfare status and the plan by the ODM party chief. We have an analysis in studio and also the live coverage of the event at the Moi Sports Center Kasarani, where we'll be shortly linking up with Philip Murutu and Angela Choror, who are standing by. But first we begin across Mashinani, where I see now Kigodho Mwangi standing by in the county of Nakuru, number 32. We have Tim Simwa from the county of Uasin Gishu, number 27. We have Baraka Karama from county number 42 in Kisumu County, the political bedrock of the ODM party chief Raila Odinga. And on the flip end, you are seeing the live event which is underway at the moment at the Moi Sports Center Kasarani. We first begin where the idea was first conceptualized in the county of Nakuru, and start off with Kigodho Mwangi, who is now live for us from the county of Nakuru. And Kigodho, good morning, over to you. You are stationed at the same county where Odinga first engineered the idea of the Azimio La Kenya. And perhaps what does this mean, and from where you are, what's the response of the locals in the county of Nakuru?
Yeah, indeed, we are getting you loud and clear from the city of Nakuru. And indeed, this is where Raila Odinga, or former Prime Minister Raila Odinga, launched the Azimio La Umoja. It is a city that has no history with the opposition so much, because it was one of the cities that had KANU as its party here in Nakuru County. They had a lot of government operatives in Nakuru County. But come the year 1992, the then multi-party democracy icons, the likes of Jindo Matiba, the likes of Njoya, the likes of Raila Amolo Odinga, made sure that Nakuru County was the meeting point and was the area they could operate freely, so that they can get this democracy done and dusted in the Republic of Kenya. So Nakuru has been synonymous with coalition forming, with the declaration of support for many political parties, starting from the DP, starting from Ford Kenya, Ford Asili, and also we have the KANU part of it. We have now the Jubilee Party that was formed between the party, the TNA and URP, and there was a declaration here in Nakuru County whereby they decided they are going to be working together. The president, that is Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, and his deputy, Dr. William Samoei Ruto, they decided to shelve their ambitions together and support one of them. So Nakuru is very strategically placed in an area they can be able to say that it is one of the centermost areas where political declarations are made. And why Nakuru? Because it is at the heart of the Republic. It is the headquarters of the Rift Valley and at the heart of the country. Also, it is cosmopolitan. Every tribe is represented here in Nakuru County. With me today, I have young men who have been in politics for quite a long time. One of them vying on an ODM ticket in Nakuru West called General Okiki, and another one is called Frank, who is vying for an MCA seat using another party that is also in the race, that is called the UDA party here in Nakuru County. I'm going to be welcoming them so that we can just diverge ourselves in this issue of Azimio La Umoja. Why did Raila Odinga choose Nakuru County? What was the significance of starting in Nakuru and spreading his wings in other areas? Karibu sana General Okiki, pengine na Frank tuje tuzungumze maneno haya. Okiki, umekuwa ukisimama eneo bunge la Nakuru West kwa tiketi ya chama cha ODM kwa miaka mingi. Wakati Raila Odinga amekuja hapa, wewe ndio mtu wa kwanza kuweza kumpata, ndio wapate wale wengine. Je, leo tuna Azimio la Umoja ambalo lilianza hapa katika kaunti ya Nakuru. Je, unafikiria kwa nini baba aliweza kuanzisha uhusiano wa Nakuru na chama cha ODM na Azimio la Umoja?
Okay, asante sana. Jambo la kwanza, Nakuru County ni mahali ambapo chama zote ziko. Jambo la pili, Nakuru County ndio epicenter ya siasa ya nchi ya Kenya. If we check critically, Nakuru has been the epicenter. When you check of the past, everything in terms of agricultural country, in terms of everything revolves around Nakuru.
Yes.
And therefore, Baba felt it was wise that the central place that Kenyans could hear the voice of the intention of liberating Kenya was in Nakuru. Yes. We've been in Nakuru and we are certain that in Nakuru, all the tribes are in Nakuru. We live, we coexist as a cosmopolitan town, and therefore, when Nakuru coughs, the entire country feels the country is at peace.
Yes. Nakuru was one of the most affected towns when it came to the effects of 2007-2008 post-election violence. Do you think Baba wanted to heal the scars that were there and also reinstate, or rather reignite the fire that was there when it came to matters to do with ODM and also his influence in the region?
The reason as to why people cherish Baba is because he's a peacemaker. It is unfortunate that the entire country knows what has happened to Baba. He has been fighting for the liberation of the country, and at a particular point, he has even been robbed of his victory. But other people resort to orthodox means. If you are robbed, you may not care whether people are dying or what. But Baba felt the blood to be shed at the expense of him becoming a leader was not his intention, and therefore he had to recede so that people could understand that he's a peacemaker.
Yes. Wacha tuzungumze na Frank kidogo ndivyo nikupe nafasi ya kuweza kupumua. Pengine Frank, yes. We are here, we have the UDA, we have the Jubilee Party, we have the ODM, now the young people being incorporated in government. You are vying for an MCA seat, but apart from that, you have been very active in the Jubilee government politics. Do you think that Azimio La Umoja today will meet its intended intentions or reach out to the young people when it comes to leadership? Why do you think Raila Odinga chose Nakuru to launch Azimio La Umoja?
I think you always go where you feel, in politics, let me talk about politics. You always go to somewhere that you feel it's away from home. I think all the other places are supporting Baba in a very big way. So he thought of starting from here. You always start with somewhere that you know it's the hardest place. I believe for Baba, Nakuru is the most difficult place for him. So, and it has the, I think we are number 2 in terms of quantity of voters. So I believe that starting from this place was his tactic on how to get more people who opposed him into his government. of which I contrary think that I don't think he'll achieve in this place, but it's good that we always listen to these leaders. That's what I always tell people. Concerning the youth, I wanted to talk about the youth. Nitatumia Kiswahili kwa sababu najua watu wengi pia wanatumia Kiswahili. I wanted to talk about the youths in ODM. Currently, I think ODM is the party that has not so many youths. When it comes to, we have youths in terms of names, but when it comes to participation, we don't have youths in ODM who are participating 100%. That's my biggest problem with Azimio La Umoja. We need to see youths, like tunaona vijana hawa ni vijana wadogo, vijana ambao tuko nao, vijana ambao tasikizana nao. But the biggest problem ni wale vijana ambao watusaidii ndio bado wako pale katika eneo la Umoja. Umenielewa?
Asante sana. I'm being told, Ayub, that time is running out. I'm going to be engaging them in our another session that we are going to be discussing about the politics, the Raila Odinga journey from the day they entered politics up to now. Do they deserve to be given this seat? Do they deserve maybe a hand in maybe whatever they are aspiring to be? And the Odinga factor in shaping Kenyan politics. Remember, this is a person who has been in politics for more than 40 years, and he has always dedicated his life, his money, his everything towards the democracy of the republic, towards maybe maintaining of law and order and keeping peace. Maybe it's something that we need to discuss with this youth so that we can be able maybe to divert more information to our viewer back at home. But for now, that's what we had for you. I remember I'm told that our correspondent in Mombasa is already so that he can take us through the Odinga journey and also maybe what are some of the expectations of Mombasa people. But for now, Ayub, take the mantle. My name is Kigodha Mwangi. My camera person is John Wangombe. Back to you in DSM House in Nairobi.
Thank you, Kigodha Mwangi, for the upbeat assessment on where the journey started for the Azimio La Umoja of the former Prime Minister Raila Odinga. In a short while, we'll be getting the account of Tim Simwa from county number 27 in Uasin Gishu County. Boniface Mwangi, I understand, is also standing by in the county of Mombasa, a political bastion for the ODM party chief Raila Odinga, and also Baraka Karama, who is live for us from the county of Kisumu, which is also the political backyard of the ODM party chief Raila Odinga. So what is the Azimio La Kenya, the unity pledge by the former Prime Minister Raila Odinga, all about? That is the question that many Kenyans are asking amid anxiety and the expectation of the statement that will be made by the ODM party chief later this morning from the Moi Sports Center, Kasarani. We're keeping an eye on the live event which is underway at the moment at the venue where the event is happening at the moment. Angela Choror and Philip Murutu will be giving us an update, and that is the live pictures at the moment on your screens. And as we get them, let's first of all get an explainer of what this day means for the ODM party chief Raila Odinga, who has been in the dugout for multi-party democracy struggle, the liberation of this country under the 2010 constitution, the devolved system of governance, and the vast array of independent institutions that were birthed as a result of the constitution. According to the ODM party leader Raila Odinga, the convention is a final demonstration of a united Kenya ahead of next year's elections in 2022, and a placebo, according to the former premier, that will address Kenya's political, social and economic problems. A rally of 60,000 people are expected to attend the Moi Sports Center Kasarani today, according to the organizers and a close confidante of the ODM party chief Raila Odinga, Suna East Member of Parliament Junet Mohamed. The convention, according to the conveners, will have delegates drawn from each of the country's 1,450 wards across the 47 counties, with the ODM party and Jubilee party producing at least 5 delegates each from the 1,450 wards across the 47 devolved units. More than 30 governors of the 47, 40 senators, 200 members of parliament of the bicameral house, and over 1,500, which means then nominated members of the county assemblies included, are expected to attend today's congregation at the Moi Sports Center Kasarani in Nairobi County. And we move on to the next explainer, which is perhaps an elaboration further of what is entailed in the pledge by the ODM party chief to make Kenya a united country, a country glued together post-2022, ironing out the uncertain political times that often accompany the political processes and the elections that are often disputed, and what this generally is going to mean for the country's political stability going forward. And as we get to the next explainer, which is in regard to perhaps the containment of the pledge made by the ODM party chief and the promises that he says will be made under this convention and the congregation today in the mega statement that is expected to come out of the KASARANI convention today. Up next is the influential political figures across the continent who will be in attendance, and a confirmation of the former Nigerian president Olusegun Obasanjo, who is mediating the political crisis in Ethiopia between Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed's government and the TPLF, the Tigray People's Liberation Front, that was the ruling party in the northern part of the continent, who is a political friend of the ODM party chief Raila Odinga ever since their political careers began. The convention will have all the hallmarks of a presidential declaration, according to political observers across the country who have been monitoring all the series of meetings Odinga held across the country after conceptualizing the idea and then making it public in the county of Nakuru, where Kigodha Mwangi just reported from, and in the company of the Governor Lee Kinyanjui and his supporters. The question of a possible merger of the ODM party and the Jubilee party could also be unveiled today. There has been a talk of the merger between the two political entities of the ODM party leader and President Uhuru Kenyatta's Jubilee party ever since the demands made by different people across different regions in the country if Odinga is to form the next government and if he were to declare a declaration for going for the presidency in 2022. How to coalesce around that cause and the consolidation of all the demands made by different people across the different parts of the country is perhaps a question that many observers are waiting to see its perhaps practical application in the country's political establishment. And this is just a summary of what the Azimio La Umoja convention is all about ever since the idea was conceptualized by the ODM party chief Raila Odinga, which he says is a solution to the country's political, social and economic woes across the country. And live pictures are coming your way at the moment from the Moi Sports Center, Kasarani, where the event is underway. And we have just witnessed members of parliament who are in attendance, including Millie Odhiambo, a close ally of the ODM party chief, Narok County Senator Ledama Olekina, the Secretary General of the Organization of Trade Unions in the country, Francis Atwoli. And what you're seeing at the moment is the dais and the escorting of the dignitaries who are entering the venue at the moment by people who apparently are the organizers of the event. The convention is being held at the Moi Sports Center, Kasarani, and people have been knocking on the doors of the stadium as early as 6 a.m. this morning, according to the organizers of the event and the confirmation of the governors, the senators, members of county assemblies who have confirmed their attendance of the event, which is billed as a big political day in the political calendar of the ODM party leader Raila Odinga. And there is an entertainment underway at the moment, and the ODM party leader is expected to officially declare, according to many political observers, his presidential candidature in next year's elections. And according to the timeline of the event, which is set to go underway, at the moment, and the gates opened between 6 and 8 a.m. this morning. Between 8 and 10 is the commencement of the event, is what's underway at the moment, and the ushering in of all the dignitaries who have been invited. According to Yunet Mohammed, the Suna is Member of Parliament, including members of the diplomatic corps and representatives of embassies across the country, and he cited the Japanese ambassador who will be out of the country after his tenure had expired, and meeting President Uhuru Kenyatta. The performance is underway at the moment by entertainers at the Moi Sports Center, Kasarani, where we have just seen pictures of the same. And from 11:30 a.m., the ODM party chief Raila Odinga is expected at the venue. And in 15 minutes' time, the national anthem will be underway. And in another 15 minutes' time, it will be time for prayers. And between 11:55 a.m. and 12:15 p.m. will be performance and the showcasing of the Raila documentary, which will be playing on the giant screens mounted at the stadium. And between 12:15 and 1:35 p.m. is the recognition and the introduction of the dignitaries who are in attendance. And between 1:35 p.m. and 1:40 will be the performance by entertainers again. And between 1:40 and 12:15 p.m. will be the speeches of all the attendants, a culmination of the event with the speech by the ODM party chief Raila Odinga. And so far, one of the confirmation is that the former African president and a diplomat currently mediating the Ethiopian crisis, Olusegun Obasanjo, is in attendance And the pictures we are seeing at the moment on your screens are of MPs Millie Odhiambo and her colleagues who are sitting at the dais that has been meant purposely for members of parliament who will be in attendance, including Peter Kaluma, the Homa Bay Town member of parliament. Kenyans have also thronged the 60,000 capacity Sita Stadium, and you are seeing the pictures of ODM Dawn supporters who are still streaming into the stadium to witness what they say is a historic event for the ODM party and its party leader Raila Odinga, who has billed this day as a big political day. And we are covering not only the event at the Moi Sports Center Kasarani, but also getting the account of our reporters who are live across Mashinani. And we just got the account of the Nakuru correspondent, who is Kigodha Mwangi. We'll be crossing over to the county of Mombasa, where we have Boniface Mwangi standing by. In Kisumu County, we have Baraka Karama, and the picture on the split screen at the moment is the current residence or home of the former Prime Minister Raila Odinga. Martin Opio is on the entourage of the former Prime Minister Raila Odinga. He will be giving you the details of the convoy of the former Prime Minister, the vehicle he will be boarding up to the stadium, and it's the live pictures that are streaming in from the current residence of the former Prime Minister Raila Odinga. Martin Opio is there for us, and we'll be getting to him. We also have Angela Cheror and Philip Murutu are standing by, our political reporters at the venue. They will be giving us the account of the actual scene where the event is happening at the moment. And the picture is of Raila Odinga Jr., the son to the former Prime Minister, who is at their current residence. And we'll be getting shortly of the pictures of the former Prime Minister Raila Odinga, the vehicle he will be accompanying. Here comes the ODM party leader Raila Odinga in the company of his wife Ida Odinga, donned in the perhaps what appears to be the African suit of the Zambian tailored style, who will be live on the streaming pictures coming to you from the current residence of the ODM party chief Raila Odinga, dressed in the African suit, and in his company is Ida Odinga, the wife, who is also dressed in her African attire. And presumably they are heading all the way to the Moi Sports Center Kasarani. Odinga, of course, traditionally carries the fly whisk, which is his political, perhaps a signature tone, and he is speaking at the moment to the members of the press. Martin Opio is there for us, happy as ever on the face of the ODM, looking forward to the big day, and perhaps we can listen into what the ODM party chief Raila Odinga is saying at the moment if we have the sound.
Najua bila shaka umeweza kutazama kwenye runinga wafuasi wanaokuunga mkono vile walivyofurika katika uga wa Kasarani. Je, una matumaini gani? Unaweza kueleza nini hata wale ambao hataweza kufika?
Nasema leo ni harusi kubwa kwa Wakenya. Ni siku ambayo Wakenya wanafaa wawe na furaha. Maana yake ni siku ambayo Mungu mwenyewe ametengeneza kwetu. Tuje pamoja kama Wakenya, tuangalie pale tumetoka na vile umekuwa. Mwaka huu umekuwa na changamoto mingi zaidi kwetu kama Wakenya, lakini vile wanavyosema baada ya dhiki ni faraja. Inaonekana sasa mwangaza inaanza kuonekana. Kwa hiyo siku ya leo itakuwa ni siku ya furaha, kusherehekea na kujadiliana, na kisha tufanye uamuzi ambayo itatupeleka sisi katika mwaka mpya.
Sijaona hotuba yako, lakini natazamia kwamba itakuwa ni ya kuwarai wafuasi wako zaidi, lakini pia nafikiri utakuwa unalenga kuwazungumzia wale ambao ni wapinzani wako, kuwavutia na wao waweze kujiunga nayo.
Tunaongea na Wakenya, sio tu wafuasi wa Raila Odinga peke yake. Wale hata wapinzani wetu ni Wakenya. Kwa hiyo kile kitu tunasema, tunaongea juu ya umoja wa Kenya. Wakenya waje pamoja, waache kubaguana kwa msingi ya kikabila, msingi ya kidini, msingi ya kijinsia, au msingi ya kiumri, ili tuweze kujenga taifa letu, tuweze kutekeleza ndoto ya waanzilishi wa taifa letu. Hiyo ni sababu nasema leo ni siku ya Wakenya, si siku ya Raila Odinga au jamii yake au chama chake. Hapana. Hii ni siku sisi zote Wakenya tunakuja pamoja.
Asante sana Mama Aida, na kuona pia na wewe unapongeza sana. Kwa kifupi tu maana najua una fursa nzuri kubwa sana katika hafla ya leo ambayo ni kumwasilisha ama kumwakilisha mumeo Mheshimiwa Raila Odinga na kumpeleka kwa wananchi. Umejipanga kinamna gani?
Leo ni siku muhimu sana kwa maisha yetu na kwa maisha ya Wakenya wote pamoja. Ni siku nyingine tena ambaye anajitolea kufanyia kazi wa Kenya. Na leo nitaangalia Wakenya wakiamua, na mimi tuko tayari. Mimi pamoja na familia yangu yote tuko tayari kuwakilisha kwa wananchi.
Asante sana. Siku njema. Asante sana.
And there we go, the live pictures on your screens of the ODM party leader Raila Odinga, who has built it a big day in the company of his wife Ida Odinga, who has been his political constant companion according to his biography. And they're heading live to the Moi Sports Center, Kasarani, where they said they are speaking to Kenyans and not the ODM supporters. It isn't an ODM affair, it's a Kenyan affair. And I will be giving a response to the demands that they have made, is what the ODM party chief Raila Odinga has said. And still we have the pictures streaming live from current residence of the former Prime Minister Raila Odinga. And the convoy is now out and heading to the Moi Sports Center, Kasarani. Odinga on board the Japanese engineered V8 engine, which is black in color and is security detailed. The entourage now leaving the current residence of the former Prime Minister Raila Odinga, heading all the way to the Moi Sports Center, Kasarani. And we have Martin Opio, who is in the company of the ODM party chief Raila Odinga, to give you the details of the step-by-step events as they unfold, all the way from the residence of the former Prime Minister Raila Odinga to the Moi Sports Center, Kasarani. And once the entourage will be making or snaking its way into the stadium, Angela Cherora and Philip Murutu will be picking up from where Opio will be leaving you to give you the summary of the studio event of what will be unfolding with regards to the big political day of the ODM party chief Raila Odinga, which is happening at the moment. And the pictures on your screens, again, to reiterate from the current